Hello everybody, my name is Madam. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, the trilogy. Happy New Year's everyone! This is going to be my first video of 2026. I hope everybody is having a good year so far. Okay, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, hopefully everyone has had a good Christmas, good holidays, good New Year so far. Yeah. So, if I remember in the last episode, we were looking at some fingerprints, and one of the, well, okay, two of them. One of them was Gumshoe's, but that was on his locker. And then there was another like fingerprint of Jake Marshall's fingerprints. And now I'm thinking, well, even before when I finished that episode, well, not that episode, but like when I finished that video, what am I even trying to say? I don't know how to speak. Okay. February 24, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Okay, so yeah, we found his fingerprints, his bloody fingerprints. Then we watched the video of what do you call it? We watched the video, but wait, is his name Goodman? Is it? Yeah, we saw a video of him. Well, we don't know if it's him or not because we couldn't see his face. And he was in there too, and he got knocked out by possibly him? Yeah. Also, hold on. Where is it? There's an extremely thin rubber glove. So, I mean, he doesn't look like he has thin hands. These, I mean, one, okay, well, we know it's not her or any of these guys. But, okay, here's my theory. My theory is that these two are kind of like working together in a way. I don't know how, but I think they are. And I'm pretty sure, and like I said, we didn't see his face in the video. We didn't see anybody's face in the video except for his one. So the Goodman in the video that we watched in the last video could possibly be anybody. I don't know. I kind of hope it's not, but yeah. Oh, Judge. Oh, okay. I miss doing his voice. Sorry about the outside noise. There's a bird. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. We didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge regarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Oh, there he is. Witness, please say your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edward described that way before. Now, oops, sorry, I did not mean to skip that. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on one day the crime took place? On the day the crime took place? Sorry. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert says. No paper can sum it up. I think I kind of lost the the cowboy voice. Well, that's okay. Maybe it's best if we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. Day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard? They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. What does that mean? I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard. But you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras in the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Hold up. This one. What time was the video? Oh my gosh, wait. Can we check the video again? What time does that say? That says 17. Wait, it doesn't really say the time, does it? Damn it. Okay, never mind. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. It's all mine. Okay, let's cross-examine it. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. A what? Press? Or prison? No, press. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. That's suspicious. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase the tape? Well, okay, maybe it's not that suspicious. I mean, why would you keep a recording of absolutely nothing? Each time I'd erase the tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but isn't going to do him any good. Then again, still suspicious. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room? Or did he? Okay, they said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know joined the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime? Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. Are you sure about that? There was a rubber glove. Why am I reading it in this voice? There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? I'm sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I'm looking at his hands. I haven't been in the crypt in weeks. How's this guy avoid being fired? Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. Well, we already know that. Okay, let's just press it. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. Well, okay, well, it depends on which bike he's talking about. If it's a bicycle, then that doesn't have electricity. What? Actually, no bikes have electricity. Actually, no, there are electric bikes. I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry. That's quite, incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe say something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem like that. This is irrelevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? Okay, remember I was at the Stricey Saloon. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even angel steak lunches can beat that parlor's rongo sepia pasta. You mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some doodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. Hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. Is this usually where your says? Did you not want to race this year? I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. What does that even mean? Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. Oh. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west to the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Okay. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it though, I better up the ante. Okay. Okay. Okay, hold on, let's look at everything. IDs of all who entered the evidence room on 221. Hold on, let me look at... let me look at the tape. Yeah, 221. Where did he go inside? What's this? Wait, the heck is this? Where did this come from? I don't remember this. Wait, hold on. Files for the Joe Dark killing sold 2 years ago. Who? Incident number SL9 closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark crime serial murder sentenced death. Victims Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jib Bates, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, Neil Marshall. Trial data, head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana Sky, Emma Sky. Investigation Task Force, executive investigator Damon Gant and Lana Sky, head investigator Bruce Goodman, investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Star. Okay. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay. Found a blade handprint left in the infantry and the print had been wiped. Oh, wait. Hold on. If I remember right. What did the judge ask again? He was like, what were you doing, at the scene of the... No, not at the scene of the crime. Like, what were you doing on the day of the crime, I mean? And he said this. So, but we found your fingerprints. President?
Objection!
I don't like this new voice of Phoenix. It sounds different. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. Oh. After all, you were in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here? Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints will be in there.
Objection!
Hold up. Didn't you say they... Wait. Hold on. I might need to, like, pause my recording and go back to see... And go back to, see what he said before. Didn't he say that he didn't go in or something like that? Or, I don't know. I don't remember. I actually don't. I don't even remember half of the dialogues. Oh my gosh. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Is it raining? It might be raining. Sorry. Your bloodstained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall, it seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. Okay, it's raining. Sorry. What am I saying sorry for? I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the bloodstained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Bloodstained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer tested the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know that the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. Oh, sorry. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Cross-examination. Like I said, it's only natural for fingerprints to be in the evidence room. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Oh wait, no, he did go in. I'm sorry. Like I said, I forget. Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. Oh, that's in there now. Those are a heap of broken dreams. I see. Better be certain my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Once his fingerprints updated. Okay. One of them just happens to be the same place as this bloodstained fingerprint. So then what about the bloody handprint? Was it mine? It's no mystery. Okay, please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened the murderer trusted the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. Chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Why? Busty and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Are they, though? Unrelated? They're as different as not one day. They're as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. One's gotta do it at breakfast while the other's the type of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Or did you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blessing at the scene, thought to be there by the murderer. That's right. The sergeant detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint? That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? The seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So as long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. Do I have to watch the video again? This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Hold up. I could just went the other way, but yeah. Wait, hold on, let me watch it again. Wait. Let's see what time it comes in. It's like... Oh, okay. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now they continue to testimony, Officer Marshall. Okay, hold up. Too bad it wasn't me in that video part, right, partner? What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime? Is that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
Objection!
But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera is panning back and forth. The floor isn't showing. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. Oh, that's right. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Show evidence. I don't know where it is, but we shall see. Well, yeah. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might end up being the one making the mistake. Well, we'll see about that. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Shows us incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Wait, what am I looking for? Hold on. Okay, then when it's open. Wait a minute. Hold up, didn't we find something? Here's Goodman. Oh, wait, hold up. Wait. Pause. Look, there's nothing here. But then, hold on, let me fast forward. Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, let's fast forward. Fast forward. Da 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 da. Sorry, I don't know. And then look. He goes behind the camera. Sorry, let me go back. Cause look. Because obviously when we see him coming this way, he goes in front of the camera. But when we go then when we go here, he's like gone, which means he went behind the camera. And then what is this? Well, I know what it is. It's a cloth. We saw in the last one. In the last video. I'm surprised. How did I not notice it in the video before? Bring your attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you had to say in 8 words or less? Very well. Does that count as like 2? You can clearly be seen in this video. Yeah, that's 8 words. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's 8. I think. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. Backwards, okay. Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened up your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! It would seem that's the only— Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. But you would be the one that opened it because it's your locker. Which can only be opened with your fingerprints, Mr. Marshall. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. How? If it's your locker, how did he open it? It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Fingerprints. Hello. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Exactly! Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You should open that locker, now prove it. Your fingerprints? This one? What? Oh, this one. Or is it this one? But I know it'll be this one. Only assigned detectives press can unlock it. Yeah. Fingerprint sensor. We literally just talked about this. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. Well, what kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. I lost Gumshoe's voice as well. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say? In 8 words or less. No words at all? I only got one word for you, partner. Well, that's less. Order, order! Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the crime of the... I cannot read. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question. What? What is he? What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure this out from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There was no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meeks didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was a witness? Seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Danganronpa. I installed that. That was installed last night. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Here?
Take that!
Officer Marshall was saying right here. So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there? That's almost credible. Okay. Damn it. Oh, so it's... Okay. So it's this one. Oh, wrong button.
Take that!
Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
Objection!
Oh! That's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Wait, if I remember the last video, Meekins did say that, when he asked for his ID card, like for his ID, he kind of got, I think, defensive or something. Is that the word? Once he saw the man's face, he'd known for sure.
Objection!
Objection! Sorry. May I point out though that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. Oh. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. Well, when I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. See? He got defensive. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Exactly. Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We've got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as its victim? Well, oh my goodness, how did everything like that? I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ugh, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might. He discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument... Oh, wait, sorry, that's the judge. Officer Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then... Now after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. To hide evidence? The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps. Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence that this video is my only shot. Alright. Very well, let's take it. Okay. As a committee of the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness... Never mind. Okay. Here's, not Goodman. Oh, sorry. Hold on. If that's Goodman's locker, then... Okay, first of all, if that's Goodman's locker, and that's supposed to be Goodman, we already know it's not Goodman, then obviously the light wouldn't be on, and... Never mind. Oh, wait. Go back. Go back. Back. Look. There. Wait, was that there before? No, it wasn't. Look, there's no blood. And there's blood there. Wait. Oh wait, sorry. Let me go back. I think I need to present that. Sorry, my bad. Sorry. Right here. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know what? Oh. Entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end. Yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. Oh. Not bad, partner. Not bad at all. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now. Now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. It seems the time has come. Another testimony? Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I better check out the evidence. I was expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas would be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you? So the murder in the evidence room, there was no murder. So the murder only happened at the car park. And there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If someone was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's a donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Okay, cross-examination. Alright. Had to do with that day, couldn't just stand by and let it die. Let it die. When you say it, you mean, do you even have to ask partner? The SR9 incident. 2 years have passed since the case was closed. It's going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident is not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Wait, who was in charge of it? Head investigator was Bruce Goodman. Which means Goodman would have been in charge of it, right? Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I... So detective... Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? As if I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did to fool the security camera. I had the detective's ID card? I stole it the morning of the incident. So, sorry. I returned his ID card. I stood on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean, the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that lock yourself. True. But he could use a rubber glove just happened to get stuck. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in that door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Oh. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. He's taking detention for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little bit more about his races here. Where did Hippers get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and then I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and managed to escape. I knew what yours. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference though. Security typically race every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you blurred your code in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day, There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
Hold it!
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What, are you blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from that locker? From the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Miss Urgis, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Unless Goodman took it, and then I don't know. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Angel. No, can't be. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Far away, partner. It's a free country. A free country that doesn't. Okay, maybe not Angel. I still think they work together in this. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer, this is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. Can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. Can't just get the SR9 incident. You know why. Why? But that case was sold 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Docker was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserves a sentence. I remember the Joe Dock case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down in that trial. Something no one will talk about. I'm sure it's Joe Dark. I did see the name Neil Marshall as one of the victims, so I wonder if. Okay. What happened? Sorry. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is? I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Your run of vote here is really in some way to that case, sorry. I better take another look at the files. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, hold on. What's he say? Can't just forget that incident. You know why. Is it because one of the victims is also named Marshall? Or is it something else? Or is it because Goodman was the head investigator and not him? Let's just present it anyways.
Objection!
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SR9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. Cactus juice. It'll quench ya. Sorry. I have the SR9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. Oh, so I was right. Right? And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard that name. I haven't. 2 years ago, he received the same last prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King Prosecutor's Award. No, now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SR9 case before I did. That's right. he was killed, and the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. Oh no. Actually, the brother looks like a young version of John Marston. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Is that Joe Dark? Oh. He looks scary. My brother, Ford Darkin, was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. What? Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened to the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the Insta 9 case could be reopened. I'm not satisfied with this resolution. Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. True? Chance? It's got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder at the prosecutor's office's parking lot was a real one. Which, in turn, means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. No.
Objection!
But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection!
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me the boys got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries of the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye, and the testimony of one Mr. Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make a single word or less. I rest my case. No. It seems the trial has reached its conclusion. No, there's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. No. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Say it. Hold it. Who said that? Emma, you're here! Your Honor, wait! Emma! The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense, please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a bit of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edwards, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SO9 incident refers to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it. The names of both Sky sisters were in that file. They are. Sorry, I don't keep going back, but witnesses. Oh, so they were witnesses. So they witnessed one of the murders. That's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day? So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found in it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone saved Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright, with regards to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be more profuse. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with the blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I object.
Objection!
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intensely at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something has been drawn on there? Oh. Okay, I know what it is. Yes, something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. I know what it is. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? Oh, sorry. No, not that one, not that one, not that one. This. What about the piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So what happens when we put him in? This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. That's right. Well, what? That's right. Gasp. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at the spot on the locker. So that means, just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. Oh, sorry. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma. On that afternoon, Officer Mix was the one who brought the Blue Badge to the evidence room, right? Yes. As he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So there must be this blood mark. Was it before the Blue Badger was brought in? Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. Ooh. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Mickens cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Someone played prior to the struggle to shown on this tape. It had to have been... Meekins? It had to have been... Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. Oh...
Objection!
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Objection!
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
Objection!
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? Summers the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. I think I know which one. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? I think I know which one it is. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this one. See, we don't know who the top one is. It could be Marshall. It could be. I'm pretty sure it's this one. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card record. Yes. Officer Meekins brought the blue badge panel to the evidence room at 4:50. Let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! What? Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? What? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood was from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. Yeah, that's true. That would mean the crime must have taken place before researchers entered the evidence room. Let's look at that chart again. 20 minutes. There's only one other card number remaining. 777777. Jake Marshall. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went over with 77777. Miss Richards, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777. It's Jake Marshall's. That's 1 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Oh, so not Jake Marshall? Gant? The chief? Someone who is a so-called executive officer. Who's an executive officer? We don't have the authorities to require such a person's identity.
Objection!
What? But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. It's if an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
Objection!
I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander? Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her. The defense sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana?
Objection!
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 77777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. Is that an incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? What? Do you need the witness to repeat his questions, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for the trial. At the time, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least I did. Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized that we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During the trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence of that in the court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. No! Oh my gosh. Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. How long is this going to take? To be continued. Oh my gosh. Yes. We are now on... We're still on day 3. Investigation. Okay. Wow. Just... wow. Oh my gosh. Number 343, 12 p.m. Wright and Co. offices. Okay. Wow, that's... yeah, I don't know what to say. Okay, so... I guess now we'll be investigating about the SR9 incident now? And the Dart killings, I guess? I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching my first video of 2026. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Goodbye!